Is being recorded around the world, from flooding in Europe to wildfires in the US.
Greece, like so much of Europe, is grappling with extreme weather. And as this part of the Mediterranean burns,
Southern Europe's worst heat wave for more than 30 years has fueled fires across parts of Spain, Italy, Greece and Turkey for 3 days now.
In less than a week, more than 100 forest fires have broken out across the country.
On the island of Evia, by ancient Olympia, people are fleeing. Wildfires have closed in on these shores, and residents and tourists are being crowded onto ferries and fishing boats. Leaving behind the burning island.
Greece, like many parts of Europe, has been grappling with extreme weather this summer, widespread flooding and colder than average temperatures in Central Europe.
In Belgium, heavy rainfall has caused severe flooding less than a fortnight after deadly flash floods across Western Europe. A typhoon is battering China days after severe flooding killed dozens of people. Scientists say these events are becoming more common because warmer temperatures mean the air holds more moisture, which leads to more extreme...
A record heat wave is fueling devastating wildfires across much of the southern Mediterranean and eastern Europe tonight. Hundreds of blazes have broken out, many of them multiplying in recent days. Italy, Croatia, Greece, Bulgaria, North Macedonia, and Ukraine are tackling dozens of wildfires.
Extreme temperatures and dry conditions are fueling wildfires in Northern California. Fire is threatening Spain too. This is the Catalonia region and one of the worst fires here in years. There were similar scenes on the Italian island of Sardinia, an out-of-control fire after a heat wave. While no single event can be attributed to climate change,
To be stuck on a beach, surrounded by fire on all sides. It was a waking nightmare from which the sea was the only salvation. They are fleeing from nature at its most ferocious. Wildfires on the Greek island of Evia forced tourists and residents to be rescued by boat from the beaches. Even the outskirts of Athens weren't safe, with thousands leaving their homes to outrun the fast-moving flames.
Just 30 kilometers from Athens. Firefighters have been struggling to get this latest blaze near the Greek capital under control. Just hours earlier, flames came close to the site of the ancient Olympics.
As this oldest of countries grapples with this very modern peril.
It's the birthplace of the Olympics, where the Games were first held in 776 BC.
In Italy, firefighters have been working day and night to douse the flames. On the island of Sicily, the fires in the mountains are also threatening seaside resorts.
This year's fire season has been one of the most destructive on record, according to EU data. The extraordinary summer is testing the region's response to increasingly extreme conditions.
there was flooding in London too. Water streamed into a train station and turned roads into rivers as representatives from more than 50 countries met to lay the groundwork for November's big climate summit in Glasgow.
Heavy rain has led to widespread flooding in North Korea, where state TV reports that thousands of people have been evacuated from their homes. Large areas of farmland are underwater, and more than 1,000 homes in the country's east coastal region of Honchi-yong have been destroyed.
Officials in India say more than 160 people have died in the past week due to severe floods and major landslides. Many people have also been reported missing in villages along the country's western coast.
Turkey's also wading in as a major disaster area is declared after weeks of flooding and landslides in its northeastern coastal region.
Isha. Just the damaged furniture, shops and cars amount to millions.
Thousands of people have been forced to leave their homes in southern Turkey as huge wildfires continue to burn.
Fires blazing on the hillsides and forests near the coastal resorts of Bodrum and Marmaris. Wildfires have been raging for 7 days now in Turkey, and these flames are closing in on the Yenikoi power station. Strong winds, low humidity and scorching temperatures, the weather conditions that help the fire spread.
In Turkey, a wall of fire surged toward a huge power plant on the Aegean coast. Thousands of residents fled. By land,
wildfires are destroying huge swaths of territory around Europe. Finland has been battling its biggest forest fire in half a century. Heat waves are also causing havoc further south. The worst blazes are raging in southern Turkey, where 6 people have been killed.
So there is a very complex process behind all this.
In the meantime, the impact of fires, floods, extreme heat and drought will continue to be felt. With less than 100 days until the Glasgow summit, these events may just focus minds.
Greece's prime minister says the country is experiencing what he calls a nightmarish summer as a record-breaking heat wave fans dozens.
With temperatures above 100 degrees, more than 100 fires have burned through parts of the country over the last week, forcing evacuations and destroying.
more than 150 wildfires are burning right across the country, some close to the northern suburbs of Athens.
The people of this ancient city are dealing with an historic heat wave, Greece's worst for more than 30 years, caused by what meteorologists have called a heat dome.
In Greece's Evia Island, in the grip of its own heat wave, wall flames tear through a pine forest. With rolling hills and little visibility hampering rescue efforts, it's no surprise over 150 houses are said to have burned. But it is in the suburbs of Athens where fires are burning most intensely.
Amid the smoke, we filmed explosions in a village on the outskirts of Athens.
Large swathes of forest completely destroyed.
Strike me as almost precisely the same as the wildfires of 2019/2020 in Australia, and of course the way that the wildfires have emerged in the US, North America as well. So certainly not a coincidence, and something that we know for sure is being made more intense.
Well, there is no doubt about it. We are now in the midst of the worst drought we have seen in modern-day California. Today, experts gather to lay out where things stand.
Now, Cecilia, to the wildfire crisis in the West. That Dixie fire engulfing an area larger than the size of Los Angeles. Flames are raging through California right now.
This is what it looked like Thursday night on the road to Canyon Dam in the mountains of Northern California.
This is Jeremiah 7:18-20. The children gather wood and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger. Do they provoke me to anger, saith the Lord Yahweh? Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces? Therefore thus saith the Lord Power, behold, my anger and my fury shall be poured out upon this place, upon man and upon beasts, and upon the trees of the field, and upon the fruit of the ground, and it shall burn and shall not be quenched.
California. Everything, trees, cars, homes, and more homes in flames.
Wildfire emergency. California's Dixie Fire exploding again overnight. Now the third largest.
It took just an hour for these buildings to be incinerated, all from a fire that's now burned for more than 3 weeks, starting small near the town of Paradise. and then growing exponentially this week. It exploded, now becoming the third largest wildfire in California history. Of the state's 7 biggest fires ever, 6 have occurred in the last year.
We're seeing truly frightening fire behavior. We really are in uncharted territory around some of these extreme large fires.
This is Isaiah 24, in verse 1. Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. Verse 3 through 6. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord Yahweh hath spoken his word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left.
I have never seen a firestorm this bad.
The Dixie Fire in Northern California turning skies red in Lassen County and Susanville. This after the fire demolished the town of Greenville.
We're talking about 2 towns erased from the map in 24 hours. But he says California's wildfires are creating never-before-seen challenges. Have they become more dangerous?
Well, over the past 3 years, I think we've all seen it, right? It's just they're getting hotter and faster, and I think the fire moved from that side of town through the town in maybe about an hour, maybe a little less.
The historic fire season in the West driven by a mega drought that's beginning to affect infrastructure. Lake Oroville is now at less than 25% capacity. Officials were forced to shut down the Hyatt hydroelectric power plant there for the first time ever due to the lack of water.
Another mountain community is aflame. Flames, look at this, swallowed up the homes and the trees. In the meantime, here are pictures from outside of the destroyed Gold Rush town. This is Greenville. Smoke filled the sky with embers and flames rising on both sides of the road.
The fire moved southward Thursday, taking out additional structures along a major highway. And to the west, buildings in the town of Canyon Dam were also seen in flames.
And not at all an exaggeration to say things here are dire. We've got some visuals for you. We'll start at Oroville Dam. Now at 34% of average, that's dangerously close to the point where it won't be able to generate any electricity. In Marin, the reservoir levels have reached historic lows, with water managers saying they need to cut use by 40% district-wide. Statewide, firefighters say they're concerned with 9 active wildfires as of today, and the heart of the fire season still ahead of us, that dry conditions could mean bigger burns.
Give you some comparison in where we were last year at this time to where we are now. We do have an increase of the number of incidents across all jurisdictions, about 12%. We're up to 6,049 incidents statewide, as opposed to last year at this time, we were at about 5,400 incidents. The real increase we're seeing right now, which is somewhat alarming, is the number of acres that have been burned.
It's Amos 9 and 5. And the Lord power of hosts is he that toucheth the land, and it shall melt, and all that dwell therein shall mourn, and it shall rise up wholly like a flood, and shall be drowned as by the flood of Egypt. I'm going to get one more. This is Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakaha Kwadash, and Shanya, Kabad, Wahashala Yakyam, Nawa, Hazakanyam, Nawa, God Wallah, Rakab. Okay? And that's just giving double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone in the Hebrew. This is Brother Ariyah. Shalom.